You know something, I'm having problems adjusting to this conversation with you.
Because I'm not ranting about somebody politically.
Yes, because for the last 10 years, I've asked you all the questions that I wanted to about Rahul Gandhi. Can I still ask you those questions? But even
It's a free country, you can ask me anything. But I think that the single sign of maturity is when you evolve and don't stagnate. So you may see me from a limited perspective of that one guy I defeated, but my life is not just that one chapter.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It is, I understand. I understand for you as a journalist that's of historical import, given that the sitting president of the Indian National Congress was never defeated before that. But it's time to get over it.
To move on? Have you moved on? I want to ask you, when you look at Rahul Gandhi...
I think you met me a day after my results were declared.
Yes.
And I didn't seem particularly jubilant. I was very, very stoic. And you were disturbed even then.
That's true. You always surprise everybody by coming up...
Because if you're not to be bogged down by failure, why should you be so ecstatic about success?
That's true, but there are people who are even ecstatic with failures.
They are, and it is their democratic right to be delusional.
So I want to ask you, Mr. Rahul Gandhi has been complaining that there's no longer any democracy even inside Parliament. As leader of opposition, he's not being given his chance to speak.
Isn't that an old complaint?
ये पहले तो बाहर का था, अब अंदर का है.
I think that there's a very old adage, old saying, that you can never demand respect, you need to command it. And for you to command respect enough to have Parliament come together and listen to you, irrespective of your politics, that's the hallmark of a true leader. I've been in opposition, and I did not have the privilege of being the leader when I was in opposition. In fact, I was one of the youngest when Jaitley sir was the leader of my party. And at that time, when I spoke on issues like sexual harassment at workplace bill, or when I spoke about the Nirbhaya issue, irrespective of which political ideology was represented in the House at that time, irrespective of the seniority of the parliamentarian, I had a rapt, attentive audience within Parliament. So I think that it is more a reflection on the aptitude of the individual than to blame Parliament. Parliament runs by certain standards and rules. It is a privilege to serve there, and if you have not created that respect for yourself, you cannot blame the Parliament or the Constitution.
But they say that the way Parliament functioned was fairer earlier than it is today. In the regime of...
when they were throwing out MPs when they agitated for Telangana, was that fair? When journalists were hiding tapes on cash for votes, was that fair?
Well, Smriti Irani hasn't lost her punch, so ladies and gentlemen, I think...
Why would you think I'd lose my punch?
No, certainly not. That's why I just feel that...
father who had a Maratha mother and a Bengali parentage as well.
How come?
I mean, if there is anything which is explosive, it's that combination.